All right. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville Virtual Quarantine Love Stream, bringing a little love into your homes or wherever you may be in these times. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with some poems. This first one's tonight is from Jane Hirschfield, her new book, Ledger. Let them not say. Let them not say we did not see it, we saw. Let them not say we did not hear it, we heard. Let them not say we did not taste it, we ate, we trembled. Let them not say it was not spoken, not written. We spoke, we witnessed with voices and hands. Let them not say they did nothing. We did not enough. Let them say, as they must say something, a kerosene beauty, it burned. Let them say we warmed ourselves by it, read by its light, praised, and it burned. Good evening, y'all. Thanks for joining us tonight here in my living room in Asheville, North Carolina. My name's Caleb Beisert, and we got a great show for you tonight. Laura Hope-Gill is our feature poet tonight. We're going to bring her on here in just a couple minutes. But thanks for tuning in tonight. We've been doing Poetry Open Mic in Asheville for the past almost 10 years now. And we are keeping it going even during the pandemic. We've adapted to this live stream format. So just to let you know how it works, we do sign up in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook every week. And you can sign up there to perform, reserve a spot on the list. And then we send you a link and bring you on via live stream. You can tune in and watch the open mic on Facebook and on YouTube on the Sovereign Kava page, who is our sponsor. Many thanks to Sovereign Kava. Sovereign Kava stands with Black Lives Matter and is also celebrating Pride this month and every month. So stop by Sovereign Kava and get your kava to go only, no cash, masks required, and they also do delivery via Kickback in Asheville. So check out Sovereign Kava. Many thanks to them, to their support, for their support. Anyway, we're getting rolling here. I'm going to do a couple more poems, and then we're going to get Laura on here, and then we got a whole bunch of other people to hear from tonight, so y'all stay tuned. This next poem I'm going to do is a newer poem I'm working on called Like the Blind Trout in Linville Caverns. There are infinite parts of the caverns, but we don't know them any farther than our own little stream. We caress the waters, find our futures in the dark. Even the rock drips over time. Thanks a lot, y'all. All right. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to be with y'all. We hope to just, bring some love forward with this love stream and, do what we do. Keep sharing our words, our poetry, our artistic creation, whatever form it may take. And hopefully put a little bit of that out in the world. This next poem I'm going to do tonight is a poem about transformation, and it's called Mariposa. Why is the Spanish word for butterfly more beautiful? Perhaps because the sun in Spain shimmers as clovers in sea, and the milkweed grows in bunches in the pastures and along dirt roads. Perhaps because language shapes my tongue into an arrow. Other languages have words for what I can't say in this poem. yet some are lost. Only through this arrangement do I begin to express anything close to wonder of the arid plains of Cordoba, or the cold beer and smell of cooked fish on the beaches at Malaga, or the old woman living in the hills above Granada, following its winding rivers, carrying orange blossoms like bridal veils, some happy party upstream from here, and the faint shouts of laughter, a flicker of firelight dashes across the treetops. We must be so close to beauty. A mariposa always remembers where it's from. Generations of them fly home over flowers and tundra. Why didn't we see them as beautifully when words first cussed our lips? Why do our words fail us? It takes only 12 days for a caterpillar to transform from chrysalis, sleeping in milky white, to butterfly, wings spread, unfolding ministry of the mariposa. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Again, my name is Caleb Beisert. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming to you live from Asheville, North Carolina. All performers are welcome from all over the world now, so this is fantastic. We're going to get down to it. We've got a really great featured poet for you tonight. Laura Hope-Gill is in the house. She is author of The Soul Tree. She's also a local historian. She's done some books on local architecture. She has an MFA from Warren Wilson. She does all kinds of things, and she also organizes Asheville Word Fest, which is the big annual literary festival in Asheville here. And I've been really fortunate to attend many word fests and see some of the greatest poets I've ever seen there. I've seen Joy Harjo, Coleman Barks, Cornelius Eady. The list just goes on. Anyway, I do believe it's canceled this year, unfortunately, but necessarily, and will return next year. But anyway, I can let Laura tell you about that and a whole lot more. Let's see if we can get Laura Hope-Gill on here. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Laura Hope-Gill. Give it up.
Oh, how exciting! Hi, Caleb.
Laura!
Beautiful poems. Hi,
hey, it's so
good
good to see you.
Hi.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, beautiful. The dripping stone.
It's been a minute.
It has been. Yeah, we've been busy keeping this city in poetry.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for doing this amazing open mic.
Certainly.
The reason that we started WordFest 13 years ago was because there weren't any more poetry events in Asheville. We were down to one. And the team of people that had been been in town in the early 90s.
Here.
Yeah, and so you're one of the warriors, and it's wonderful keeping us in the poetry world. Thank you, and thanks for inviting me tonight.
Well, likewise, and thank you for all you do for the poetry community here in Asheville, and how you've really paved the way for a lot that's going on here.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
And it's really interesting. I feel that even though WordFest, I feel that even though WordFest didn't happen, it kind of did in all of the protests and vocal, all the voices coming out. I was like,
absolutely.
That too is what we poets have been working towards. And so it was this wonderful international festival of voices, and with the
Totally.
horrific impetus and the bearing witness and the courage of people and the horrific behavior of other people. But this is why we do what we do, right? To give a place.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
been a long time coming, but hopefully the world's starting to wake up now.
Yes.
I know there's a
Yes.
lot still to be done, but yes, it's happening. It's
It
happening.
is. Yes.
Well, I want to get to your reading. You have some poems for us tonight, and you've also just recently released a poem sort of about the pandemic. It's this beautiful poem about finding beauty and finding solace and strength for healing in that beauty during these times when we've been quarantined and whatnot. And uh, uh, we have a link to that video right there. And
Great.
I encourage everyone to go check it out. It's beautiful. It's accompanied with artwork and music. And yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for sharing that.
Thank you so much. I have a couple of, I have 4 little places in my poetic geography that I'll draw from for the next few minutes. The first one is a poem by Mahmoud Darwish, who
Oh,
is
cool.
a Palestinian poet
Mm-hmm.
who passed away. It feels like yesterday, but it was in 2008, which is really hard to imagine.
Wow.
And
I can't believe it's been that
yeah,
long. Yeah.
I know. He feels that this is the power of the poet, right?
Yeah,
They feel like they're always with us. So I'd like to
absolutely.
begin with his work because I'm not sure what the decision was from Netanyahu today, but definitely today
Right.
is the day that the annexation was scheduled to go through, and hopefully letters from 400 Jewish scholars and European leaders and Britain itself saying don't do it worked. And here
Okay.
was a poem by Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish.
All
And I'd
right.
like to thank my dear friend Ahmed Najjar for sharing it with me. As you prepare your breakfast, think of others. Do not forget the pigeon's food. As you conduct your wars, think of others. Do not forget those who seek peace. As you pay your water bill, think of others, those who are nursed by clouds. As you return home to your home, think of others. Do not forget the people of the camps. As you sleep and count the stars, think of others, those who have nowhere to sleep. As you liberate yourself in metaphor, think of others, those who have lost the right to speak. As you think of others far away, think of yourself. Say, if only I were a candle in the dark. And that is Think of Others by Mahmoud Darwish. And I'm going to, Caleb mentioned the project that you have the link for below here. Here we go again into our quarantines, into our self-isolations. And I wrote these poems in the first round, and I saw the paintings of Gretchen Chadwick, who's a local artist here and also a nationally renowned artist. And she posted these other ethereal collages. And I started to write poetry to them, actually in the comments on Facebook where she was posting them. So I will share some of these, and then you can, after tonight, after tomorrow, whenever you wish, you can see them set to the paintings themselves. And then I composed piano music to go with them. Faces that fade fast into memory. They were paper thin to begin with. The design on a moth's wing held more powder and flies still. Everyone tells me to remember an experience I long to forget if I could only get it to end. What remains of us is an essence. The ones I love are still with me. They have set fire to the tower. Only the flames are made of memories, puzzles jigsawed into place. When the tower fills with their weight, the stones are what we won't remember, but gather in search of the corner where we begin. I have read when metal touches metal, the temperature in both sheets drops. It's a chill in the earth I feel because we have stopped walking. Distance is a breath increasing its chance of spreading. I hold still, the iron in my blood inflecting on lead, cadmium, copper, self-contained. I'm colder. The colors, though, hold angles in light. Crystals, minerals, salt that they say can save your life. The city recedes like a panther. It leaves a terror in its prey that survive. I find it easy to call something nature I'm on the side of until how on Monday I heard it had come after William, whom I love and whose side I am on. We are in this together, prey and predator, fear and far from what we called the city. Here in the difficult, here in the defenseless wild. And this one of the images just looked like skyscrapers. So I thought of Manhattan, and remember when the numbers were just soaring in Manhattan at sunset when the shifts changed at the hospitals, people stood out on their balconies. And in writing these, I found I was drawing just on the periphery of the images and symbols that have come to mean pandemic and self-isolation. And that was one of the things that really stayed with me. Meet me in Manhattan. I will wear gold, so I will match the sunset over the harbor. So I will shine like glass and steel as we walk along a crowded Columbus Avenue, elbow our way through the Kit Kat Club in the past. Again, reminded that time only happens at 7 p.m. now, when the hospital workers change shifts, and in the glint of sun against the windows, you hear a drum from a balcony, less a nightclub than a march, yet cheering. And it was interesting in writing these at how medicine, the medical information at the start of the pandemic kind of leaked out to us, and we didn't know what to believe. And now I follow doctors on Twitter, and actually, like they tweet the actual papers of research, and that's a saving grace for me. But back then, like in March, it was just the information would come to us at strange angles. But this is the last of this set that I'll read, but the others are in the Vimeo. What they tell us is the lungs harden. The water garden of the breath and speech and singing turns to a kind of ice, or so it looks in the x-rays. We say oxygen, oximeter, we breathe in the science. We diagnose the daylight, dawn is still dawn. The moonlight slides down the horizon, making space for day. You're here, is your answer to the emptiness. And the whole world, it seems, is singing. So if you are listening and maybe you don't consider yourself a poet and you want to, This is such a poignant moment that I think if you put pen to paper, a poem will come. I think that this is a way of processing all the unknowns that are happening right now. And Caleb read the beautiful Jane Hirschfield poem. Her beautiful book, 10 Windows, has a fantastic chapter on how poetry is the language for talking about unknowns. And here we are. I'm going to read now from hopefully a forthcoming book called Northland. And these are also small lyric poems. And Caleb is my brother in the lyric. And I don't know how many of us there are right now. And these are all written in my childhood home of Georgian Bay, Canada. And I invite you to look at the paintings of Tom Thomson to get a glimpse of what Georgian Bay looks like. It's very austere, and these pine trees grow alone on these old rocks that break the surface of the fresh water. And it's poems I wrote over the course of several summers living in a little 9-by-12 cabin up there. Begin. We should begin with all untamed things in nature, all untamed, unnamed, unmapped, and we should go there. We should go to the oldest Earth's crust and stand near it. We should hold on to the rose quartz of our veins. Come, Northland, come into me. Come, granite wall, come untouched. Come, untouched marsh. Come, bright algae into my skin. Melt me north, back into Himalayan height, into sky. Unchurn me back into the original form, my Holocene self. Earth's witness, I sweat, I was here, into a sun-smoothed shield. A frozen lake. To live this far in winter is to understand that inside of us lives a silence that can never break. To be this cold and bear it is to be less matter than birch, to have the thinnest skin and let the wind take it away for a bird to use in its nest in spring. Drowned Land. I'm going to say this is very interesting reading into screens because I work with a lot of doctors, and I recently learned that doctors are actually experiencing improved relationships with patients because in telemedicine, you're looking at the screen and the doctor's reading your records, but you feel seen. And so I'm wondering how this feels in the poetry world, right? We're looking at each other like we didn't before the pandemic. This poem, Drowned Land, is based on an experience that I had once. I canoed with my family to an island in the bay, and we had a picnic. We were all very relaxed. The sun was hot, and I went for a swim. And up there, the water's so clear that you can open your eyes and you can see. But I did this dive off of a rock, and I just was swimming with my eyes closed and doing these large strokes. And then for some reason, I opened my eyes, and under the water, submerged, was a dead thing that shows up in the poem. And if I had kept swimming, I would have swum into its skeleton. And I'm so glad that I opened my eyes. That didn't happen. So it could turn into a poem instead. So this is called Drowned Land. What is broken outside us speaks to the broken inside us. Dark pool, silvered with cloud, fresh water enclosure around what I tried to say. It was the time worn in me that snapped. It was the new growth in the distance that allowed me at long last to fall. But I tell you, in strict confidence, I've never felt so matched as once I dove from a rock and glided bird-like into this blackness, then opened my eyes from sense beyond sense to see this cormorant, half skeleton, feathered in half flight, full wingspan, about to embrace me. And the last poem from this set, and then I'll do the Global Vigil poem, is called Return. Return. And what I loved about writing these poems was I'm very, everyone up at the cottage is always very solitary. We spend a lot of time just alone. And the land itself sort of pronounces isolation to you. There's not a lot of other people up there. And I find these poems nourishing during these self-isolations because we can withstand isolation. We can do this, and we can do this for each other. And what a gift it almost is, as tenuous as things are economically. But this gift of solitude and the test of finding out what's inside us that solitude gives is very powerful. But also thank God for Facebook and Twitter. So return and poetry readings. Thank you again for having me here. Here's my second to last poem. It's called Return. What I know of the earth is its churning speech. Not only the sound of the waves against the stones, not only the cackled exchange of bird talk between tree and tree. In the timing of these, in the counterpoints and rhymes and connections deep in memory that link place to place within us, all is language, all story. I am leaving this place tomorrow. Last night, for the first time in nearly 20 years, the air filled with loon song. I stood in it like sound was wind. Nearly 50 summers I have come here and placed my moment upon its eternity, and like a clay pot that hums when a similar pot is sung, like a wolf who howls in her pack's key, I have again attuned to stone, lichen, wild blueberry, jack pine, water and wind. Writing this place has revealed it to me, as though the earth loves to be limbed and loved with attention. I will write of this place all year again, so it knows, so I see what I have missed. I get such joy from reading those poems. And I just love that connection to the earth that poetry offers to us, aside from all the noise of the world. And we can find that almost anywhere. I'm going to close with this poem. I invite you to take a deep breath. And I want to thank you for listening to me tonight. And I want to thank you, Caleb, for keeping the poetry candle burning strong. It's not just a candle, there's a bonfire. Way to go. And it's great to be here. You will not die alone. This poem is called The Global Vigil. You will not die alone, though the news says this is how it happens now. I want to tell you it isn't. I want to tell you that if you should be one of the ones who touched a doorknob or a box, or who walked through someone else's breath in a way, and if you should be one of the ones in whom the virus sets off the storm that ices the lungs and renders you one of the ones who dies in the hall or in the tent in the national park or in your house because you know you are one of the ones who won't be counted. I want to tell you, I will count you. I and 9 billion others are thinking of you already. We have made ceremonies for you in our minds, knowing it too could as easily be one of us. We will stand around you as we already are, even as we Lysol spray the month's groceries delivered by a girl wearing gloves and a face mask, even as we scrub our hands a third time after some contact with the outside world, even as we plant another row of potatoes or spinach, even those of us who have never planted anything before, but suddenly seem to hear the earth telling us what goes where and when, as we watch the moon switch from wane to wax and anticipate the soil with the hose of fresh water, so cool against our skin it's almost sacred. Even then, we think of you. We picture you where you are, in the hallway or outdoors, not even on your way to the hospital because you didn't even want to try. We understand that. And we are here surrounding you as you die. We do not know your memories. You do not know our names. We do not appear in any of your photographs. We still stand around you. We will stand around you, the living bearing witness to the dying, because this is what being human means. We won't leave you out of this. We won't let you go without your knowing we are standing by you. We will be holding your hands in our hands. We will be weeping with your last fought for breaths. We will breathe for you after your last breath. You will be part of us. Like this, you and you and you and you and I, like this, we will all live through this forever. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my poetry tonight. And be safe, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Beautiful work. Beautiful,
Thank you.
powerful work. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks, Caleb.
Absolutely.
Lovely to
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. And without like taking away from the weight of the suffering and everything, I have found been able to enjoy these small silver linings in
Yes.
like being stuck at home and everything, like finding time to write
Yes.
and garden too. So
Yes.
I think poets seem to be a little better suited for isolation than some.
We've been training for this for years. I
Right.
know. All the same, it's good to see a friend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by tonight.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you soon.
Yes.
Take care, stay well, and I hope to see you at WordFest and other readings again when it's safe.
2021. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Caleb. Have a lovely evening. I'll be flipping over to the Facebook page. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
See
Absolutely.
you.
All right, give it up one
Bye.
more time for Laura Hope-Gill.
I love it.
All right. All right, they liked it. This is actual recorded applause from the actual open mic we do here in Asheville. But another one of the silver linings in this is being able to open the open mic up to people who aren't physically in Asheville right now, or who are in Asheville but like me are too busy all the time to make it to all the poetry readings and stuff. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We got some fantastic performers coming at you. Let's see. Some comments for Laura. Yes, they liked it. And again, remember this is Poetry Open Mike Asheville. We do this here every Wednesday night. Thanks to Sovereign Kava for their support. Let's see who we got up next tonight. We're gonna go to Jose. We got Jose ready to go next. Then we'll go to David Lee Morgan after that. David Lee Morgan's in the house tonight. And Kevin Evans after that. And then we got Justin Blackburn and Savvy and Emilio and I think some other people too. So y'all stay tuned. And again, I think there might be a couple spaces left tonight. So if you do want to sign up, hop over to the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. We'll post a link there for performers. Anyway, oh yeah, and I want to remind you to check out the new video by Laura Hope-Gill, which you can also find the link in the comments. And just click on it and go right to it. Save that and definitely check that out when you got some time, because it's a powerful video she put together with also with words and music composed by Laura, and paintings by another artist too. I'm blanking on the name, but they're beautiful paintings. Check it out. Cool. Thanks again to Laura Hope-Gill. All right. Let's see if we can get Joe Shelton on here. Jose Del Tajaco, where is he? Boom. Joe.
Estoy aquí. Hey.
Hey.
Man, I've known Laura forever. I'm so glad to see her. She's always been very supportive of my stuff.
Yes. She's she's an amazingly supportive poet. It's great to have her on tonight. Glad you could be here for it.
Yes.
And you bring some poems for us tonight. What do you have going on tonight?
Couple of poems, couple of songs.
On a rainy avenue?
It is.
River?
Oh yes, right back here. Yeah, I did. I looked back at the thing from last time, and I had the show like in mirror within a mirror behind. That was too trippy. That was too trippy for me. So that's
Okay, a little too trippy.
put it with something a little more calming and soothing, man.
Sounds good, man. I dig it. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you read some poems.
Rock and roll.
And yeah, y'all make some noise for Joe Shelton. Give it up.
That's funny. I can hear my own voice in the real, authentic crowd noise. So, still trippy out here tonight. All right, couple of poems. This first one is "The Suicide of the Florist." From her mother, she knew the secret language flowers speak, so she was a florist too. In the common floral tongue, there is nobility in the vain pursuit of moments, and to exclaim or declare are one and the same. A passionate, wishful orchid here, courageous black-eyed Susans there, and mounds of approval at a diva's feet, or just one crimson rose alone, maybe to propose. Bouquets of contrition, now at dinner in a vase, get well soon chrysanthemums, or daisies just because. For cheer or strength, on delicate blooms our senses love to light, like bees collecting pollen, who celebrate with flight. But the flowers are all quiet today. By her own hand she made arrangements, and now has gone away. Okay. This is In the Cave. Soapy the street poet is taken to the stage beneath the claustrophobic papier-mâché wonder of the stalactites in The Cave to rave about ants and their meaning to him in a somewhat prepared monologue of what I'll stipulate to be poetry. The bartender looks familiar to me, a broad smile and thinning hair. It takes me a moment to place him. It's John Howie of the $2 Pistols, a band I've seen many times. It's mildly upsetting to me that he has a day job, or that any other great artist must. I've met a friendly Colombian guy who's touting the benefits of the 2 national beers of Colombia, the only ones he drinks. He has a fun sort of team spirit about his home country, kind of like Texans do. When it's his turn at the mic, he regales us with original smutty science fiction. The main character is in mid-screw when he suffers an accidental pronoun switch to the first person. So now the author, and not Telek, will swoon under the heavy love musk of a large furry sex kitten from another planet. "Oh, Telek," she will moan repeatedly in her thick, sultry Colombian accent. I have a great chat with the lead singer of a group who was around town when I was in college. I remember them being edgy and good enough to make it. He looks tired from the hustle of a musician's life. I feel an odd twinge that's half respect and half vicarious regret that the band name might have limited their horizons somewhat. They were called Snatches of Pink. He gets a kick out of how my eyebrows involuntarily jump every time an attractive woman walks by. Me too. We laugh. Once on stage, I share some of my newer stuff, and thankfully it's well received. In this snapshot of my life, I'm only a few months back off the street myself, but my poetry has coalesced a little better than Soapy's. Alex, the host, is a sturdy and alluring presence with a great spirit and sparkle in the eyes. She and I talk about her lives, hers in upscale retail and mine in the basement of the Davis Graduate Library processing invoices. In Chapel Hill, there are PhDs driving cabs, so you do what you do. When I mention my hometown, Alex perks up, sensing that I have accidentally attached to myself a touch of the cachet of Asheville's poetry scene. I ham-handedly ask her out. She is sweet to be gentle in her kind refusal of me. Too soon, too soon. And now, years too late. Okay. All right. This is kind of a storyteller song. Here for a good time. Redburns had a rep with the ladies of the town. He could chat them up and bed them down. His silver tongue would cast his spell. He'd have his fun and bid farewell. He'd say when asked why, "I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time." His friend Dan James was soon to wed, and for his best man selected Red. Red chuckled to himself 'cause he knew she'd stray. Like candy from a baby, he'd take her away, with no better reason why. "I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time." Red set a little blaze for the VFD, then headed straight to Dan's for some company. And while Danny was busy playing fireman, Red proved himself the worst best man. And when she asked why, "I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Oh, and temptation burns in me. I'm compelled to spread the flame. My shoulder devil laughs aloud, and an angel weeps again." Dan burst in the bedroom all covered with soot, and with his scattergun he nudged Red's foot. Dan drew a deep breath and he leveled his gun. Said, "You might not have finished, but you're sure as hell done. No need to ask why. You're not here for a long time. Hope you had a good time. Oh, what a goddamn fool I was to ever call you friend. You threw my love into your fire, and now you'll meet your end." Dan did not fire, though he had his chance. Said, get out of my bed, pull on your pants. She's your headache now, I am undisturbed. Take her with her where you go, or just put her by the curb and lie down by her side. We've been friends for a long time. Goodbye for the last time. Don't do that to your pal. Don't do it. All right. And here's one more silly song. Don't call me daddy in the bedroom. Don't call me daddy in the bedroom. Don't scream my poppy in the sack. I'm just a little old engine who's trying to get the love express down the line. You get me thinking too hard. You knock me right off the tracks. Don't call me daddy in the bedroom. No, don't make your tiger go tame. Let's forget about the unpleasant facts. Get back to rocking the shack. We'll take a little cat nap and get to purring again. Don't call me that. I'm not your dad. Let's not hang on. If you're only doing it to make him mad. No, if you're only doing it to make him mad. No, don't call me daddy in the bedroom. Don't douse the hurricane lamp. If you want this here skillet to sizzle, don't parade it under a drizzle. If the campfire flickers, then we will have to decamp. If you forgot my name, you're gonna make me cry. Just give it a guess. You might get it right in the first 3 tries. Might get it first in the first 3 tries. Although the difference in our ages is quite a few calendar pages. Don't you knock it if you still got the knack. And don't call me daddy in the sack. Don't call me daddy in the sack. Please don't call me daddy in the sack. Finice. That's it for me tonight. Thanks very much for your time. And thank you, Caleb, for putting on a wonderful show.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, Joe, Shelton, Jose. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by tonight.
My darn pleasure. That was trippy to hear myself cheering for me.
I know, right?
I need to do that more around the house.
It's great, right?
Can you tell? I can pick me out that fast.
Yeah, really, it's, it helps. If you have that every time you read a poem, makes you feel a little better.
Rock and roll.
It's easier than just reading into a camera. But I gotta say, the whole live streaming thing was weird for me at first, but it's worked out to be something really cool. I really appreciate being able to still connect and still share our poetry, our words, our creativity.
I've settled into it. I like this little this in between banter. You don't get that at the live thing. It's just
yeah.
Switching them on.
There are some perks to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks again, man.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Joe. Hope to see you again next week. And y'all make some noise one more time for Joe Shelton. Give it up. All right. Indeed. Well, thanks for tuning in tonight to Poetry Open Mic Asheville Virtual Quarantine Live Stream, no open mic, open mic. We're coming to you live from Asheville, North Carolina. My name is Caleb Beisert. It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. Thanks for joining us. I think we got David Lee Morgan up next, then Kevin Evans, Justin Blackburn, Lee Stockdale, Savvy's coming on here in a little bit. Yeah, we'll have all that rolling for you. But first, I'm excited to get to this next poet. We got David Lee Morgan in the house. Let's see if we can get him on here. Y'all go ahead and make some noise for David Lee Morgan. Give it up. David, hey.
Hello.
Hey, Hey, good to see you. It's been quite a while. Where are you joining us from tonight?
I'm in beautiful downtown King's Cross in London.
Beautiful, wonderful. I love London. I think the first time I saw you, maybe our first overseas performer on here. That's fantastic. This is definitely one of the silver linings of the open mic. We have
It is
from anywhere in the world.
Poetry International.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I think the first time I saw you was at the Free Fringe in Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh gosh, it must have been 2013, I think. And you were performing in this pub that's I think it's called the Banshee Labyrinth. And
yeah,
it's built into these old dungeons, and the performance spaces are actually in the dungeon rooms. And I was absolutely blown away by your performance. Your combination of words and music and social and political themes and just powerful words, man. So
thank you.
Absolutely. I'm glad you could make it tonight.
Well, it's a thrill. I've never been to either North or South Carolina. Forget whether which one Asheville is. Is it North Carolina?
North Carolina, Western North Carolina. We're about we're not far from South Carolina border here. And we're in the mountains of North Carolina, the Appalachian
Nice.
Mountains.
I'd fit that right in. I'm from Seattle.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of although I've been based in London for nearly 30 years now. But
cool.
I still miss the trees.
Yeah. I love Seattle. I got some good friends there. Well, that's fantastic. You got some poems for us tonight?
I sure do.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you for the next 10 minutes or so, and let you read, man. But thanks for being here, and everyone, wherever you are, at home or in your car, wherever you're tuning in from, make a whole bunch of noise for David Lee Morgan. Give it up.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening. Caleb, thanks for having me. And I'm going to do 3 poems. They're all recent. The oldest of them is I wrote just right before the virus really took off. And then the other 2 are most recent. The last one I finished and posted yesterday. So without further ado, you can't have a unicorn. What did you expect them to do? Run up a red flag and sing the Internationale? They're criminals. They're part of the problem, not the solution. They hate each other, but they hate us more. You can't have a unicorn. Richard Nixon murdered millions of men, women, and children in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, but they were going to impeach him for nothing more than a 2-bit burglary just down the road. What more could they do? They had blood on their hands, too. You can't have a unicorn. They'll never impeach Trump for putting children in cages. Of course not, because they did it first. You can't have a unicorn. But there's a difference between torturing people in secret and bragging about it in public. There's a difference between dog whistle racism and tanks in the street. There's a difference between media manipulation and government by body bag. This is not politics as usual. This is not unprecedented. This is not outside the norms. This is the buildup to a fascist coup. It's not disturbing. It's brown shirts marching in the street and carrying assault rifles. It's not a distraction from the election. It is the election, the real election that never happens in a ballot box. Who's going to win? The good cop or the bad cop? Does it even matter? Yes, it does. No doubt. Once the Nazis got in, it took a world war to get them out. You can't have a unicorn. They lie, they corrupt, they confuse. And when that doesn't work, they kill. They are the enemy, both camps. But when they're fighting each other, you don't just stand on the sidelines and make snarky comments. You take your chance and put in the boot. When one junkyard dog is fighting another, keep them both in your sights, but shoot the one with rabies first. Second poem, more recent. Been in a lot of debates that have surprised me with people, anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists. And I mean, the world's full of conspiracies, but doesn't explain everything. If I'm back here again, I'll do some poems about conspiracy. This one isn't about that, but it comes off of the debates. Tuskegee World. Tuskegee, Alabama, from 1932 to 1972. In the heart of Black America, a criminal medical experiment was carried out. Syphilis. Watch Black men die from it. Watch them infect their wives, their children. Check their blood, their spinal fluid. Observe carefully. Write it all down. But the best is yet to come. Wait for the autopsy. There is a cure, penicillin, but don't let them take it. Follow them from county to county, from state to state. Don't let them take it. Just another experiment. There are so many murders. We are Black. We are queer. We are prisoners of war. We are women. We are Jews. We are outcasts. We are poor. Like garment workers who can't afford the clothes they make. We are the guinea pigs who die in experiments for the medicines we can't afford to take. Sing about the Nazis. Sing about Imperial Japan. Sing about the cotton fields of America, the prisons of Guatemala, South Africa. We die in their experiments, but the best is yet to come. Our children die, and our children's children, because the medicine they use us to make is medicine we can't afford to take. What is this beast, this terrible disease? What is this medicine that kills us twice? Once, when they use us to make it. Twice, when they take it away. They call it science, but that's a lie. Science does not own banks. It has no stock exchange, no bottom line. Science is the pick and shovel we use to mine for the truth. We dig up diamonds. They come out of the earth clean and bright. It is capitalism that steals them away and paints them with blood. Who are the victims of Tuskegee? Not only the men who died, not only their wives and children. The victims are still being counted in every child who dies without penicillin, without proper vaccines, without doctors and nurses who were trained in science, but then stolen away to serve in foreign countries. What is this beast, this terrible disease that paints every act of kindness the color of money, that takes every gift of science and coins it into wealth and power, that hunts and kills whatever it needs to feed the bottom line? They call it science, but that's a lie. Science is a tool for exploring the world around us. The better we understand it, the better we can change it. Who are the victims of Tuskegee? We are. If we let these terrible crimes teach us the wrong lesson, if we let them drive us away from the one chance we have to make a kind and just world. Every tool is a weapon, every weapon a double-edged sword. They use science against us, but we can use it to end them. So finally, this is a poem that's coming out of the exciting things that are happening in the streets, especially in the US, but in the UK and a little bit all over the world. I find this to be a really hopeful time. If you go back to a few months ago, it seemed like fascism was on the rise all over the world and people were hoping things would change in an election, but they weren't very much out fighting on the streets. And now, wow, that's really changed. And it's multinationals, people of every color and description. And I'm really excited about it. Okay, the last poem. I just finished this yesterday and posted it. So actually, I think all three of these are world premieres. Excuse me. Robert E. Lee, a missing statue testifies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Peter, or maybe Gordon. Not much is known about me. I walked into the history books when we crossed the Union line. It was March of 1863, just outside Baton Rouge. We started out as 3. We finished as 2. 10 days of running and hiding, crossing water as often as we could, barefoot over the hard creek rocks, cutting up onions, rubbing them onto our skin, trying to throw off the bloodhounds. When we finally crossed the Union line, we started to cry. We couldn't believe our eyes. The first soldiers we saw had black skin. They were African. They had been slaves like us. We joined the Union Army that day. We threw away our rags and put on the Union blue. When I took off my shirt, the white soldiers stared in horror. Some of them looked angry. Some of them cried. The black soldiers looked on without blinking. They had seen it all before. My back is a history book. You can see America buried in the scars. Look at the photograph. The ridges are thick, the whip cut deep. But look at my face. Do I look bent and broken? My back is a witness for the truth. Look at the photograph. It was made into postcards. It toured the Union with a simple message. This is why you were fighting. This is what slavery does. My back is a weapon of war, strong and straight. I carried a backpack and a rifle, and I fought for freedom. No quarter was given to former slaves. So when I was captured, I was beaten, tortured, and left for dead. But I survived, grew strong, and went back to war. I served as a sergeant in the Corps d'Afrique. At the siege of Port Hudson, we led the charge. The records say I fought bravely. The records say I survived. Then nothing more is known. I disappeared from history, just one of 180,000 former slaves, 180,000 Union soldiers, 180,000 African heroes. I was only one of them, but my back, my strong, straight and scarred back, tells the story of us all. So listen up, you lovers of history, you lovers of the truth as told by statues and monuments. Put your money where your mouth is. Tell the whole story. Give me my statue. Stand me side by side with your Robert E. Lee. Let us both be seen. Inscribe under his statue, I fought for slavery. Inscribe under mine, I fought for freedom. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for listening to me.
All right. David Lee Morgan, thank you. Thank you so much for that powerful poetry there. Yes, indeed. Very good stuff, particularly like the one about the Tuskegee experiment. And I must say it has been amazing to see everyone in London and throughout the world standing in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter protesters here, and I know we see you, and we appreciate it. You know, it's time for everyone to stand together, and I definitely appreciate your perspective. And how are things in London? I know that the virus has been hitting really hard there as well. It's been hitting really hard in the States. I think we have over 120,000 dead now from it, and it's just been propelled by our completely incompetent president and our incompetent, putting it lightly. And and people just not taking things seriously, feeling like being asked to wear a mask is like an oppression or something like that. But what is the attitude like there?
Well, the UK is doing its best to emulate the stupidity of Trump, not succeeding quite as well, but the UK has the outside of Sweden has the highest death toll in Europe,
Right.
and it's not wearing a mask has not become astoundingly become political, as if the virus was something you could spin, but they just shut down a couple cities. They just shut down Leicester again, went back to full isolation. I think that the Black Lives Matters movement in the streets here was, of course, in support of what's going on in the U.S., but it's not like there is no racism and no death by police in the U.K. So it's also very much a standing up and fighting for here about issues that are happening here as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It seems to be a problem everywhere in the world.
Police are a tool of imperialist rule, as they might say.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And one of the good things that comes out of it is now there's a big, big conversation going on about defunding and even abolishing police here in the U.S. We'll see how it goes.
So thanks for having me, and I guess I'll move to the Facebook page after this.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you tuning in. And please come back again and read some more poetry. It's great to see you.
Would love to.
All right, take care, David. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
And give it up for David Lee Morgan. Yes, indeed. Joining us live tonight from London. Awesome. London, England. Cool. Very good. And thank you everyone for tuning in tonight wherever you are in the world. We got a whole bunch more awesome poets and performers coming at you tonight. We got some music coming later on and a couple more poets next. We have one of our great ASHEViLLE poets here with us in the house tonight. Kevin Evans is here. I think we got Kevin ready to go. And let's see if we can bring Kevin on here. So, y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Kevin Evans. Kevin.
Word.
Hey.
Okay.
How you doing?
What's up?
Chilling. It's good
I'm
to see
doing
you.
all right.
Right on. Right on, man.
You too, man. Heck yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to see you back this week. By the way, I should mention Kevin's got a piece out. He's got an article actually about a lot of the stuff we've been talking about so far tonight in the Get on the Bus ASHEViLLE.com. Get on the Bus AVL. So I encourage y'all to go read his article. It offers a really interesting perspective on a conversation that we're having locally here right now. So, anyway, cool, man. You got some poems and stuff for us tonight?
Yeah, I've been working on some new ones, a couple of new ones, like just today and like yesterday, past couple of days, and I'm gonna do an old one. Is there an audio problem here?
No, I can hear you loud and clear now. It seemed like there might be a lag for a second, but yeah, you're loud and clear now.
Okay, it might be my thing that I can't hear. It's weird, but anyway,
I can hear you though. I'm gonna turn it over to you and just let you get to the poems, man.
Okay, sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Give it up for Kevin Evans.
All right, so okay, I'm gonna do first an old poem. It's from May 8th, 2012. It's called Chew. And I think it may have been, I was probably trying to be more like writing a song lyrics or something, perhaps, but here we are. Fell out of a tree yesterday. Bumped my head in dirt. Fell out of the sky last night. Bumped my head. Woke up Sunday morning in church dead. Woke up as a seed growing, rooting, breathing, laughing, crying of dumbass wise men. Chiming, the wind chimes upon entrances of fogged heavens. And in the spring, so I'm sitting, staring, singing with this mocking hummingbird. Woke up as a tree, spoke love, then breathed. Build of me, then there's your deed, signed and guaranteed. I'm yours now if you care to lead. But don't leave me how you got me. But don't leave me how you got me. And in the spring, so I'm sitting, staring, singing with this mocking hummingbird. Passed out into your knees, your disease, your pleas, passed out into your dreams, into your sweet fruit, ripe, stirring like paddle in fermented, beautiful water burden. And then kiss your bird then. Sitting, staring, laughing, bearing with this singing, mocking, hummingbird. I just came across that piece like right before, like about 20, 30 minutes ago, probably. But I felt I needed a third poem. So that came about, and I don't think I ever read it. This is, I finished it today. I started it a day or two ago. It's called First Class, Third Person. All right. My black mother, sister, my black grandmother, great daughter, auntie, niece. Society has told me that you feel no pain, then said the same to me. But the pain I felt, I wish they would just beat me, kill me. The pain endured by you deeply as you are navigated by the difficult, beautiful crystal sea clearly explains to me that it's not that you don't feel pain. You're just so beautiful and stronger than most anybody, with your back made of the things that bind and shine the mountains to the jungle, river, waterfall, and sea. In past lives, you cried so much, now it's just sand and salt. Through every bend and holler of the earth, you still hold the world's heart in your naturally perfumed, costumed palm. When all the fog is gone, you are still just as whiskey strong, although unfortunately harshly harmed and long scars. And so many can't receive you, even with the heaviest, loudest song of the oldest, ghostly, crowded storm. There was a gate between where you sang and where you pray. And they say, shut up. Your magic voodoo is devil worshiping. They're still trying to split you with the warship. And as some will never completely comprehend my personalized blackness, I will never know the inside strength, brains, and grace that it takes to be woman. All right, and this one is beatbox, and I think I would probably have to admit that, like, at least in some kind of way, this was inspired by Caleb Bicert with the beat poem. But I don't think I knew that till the end of it. But it's called Beatbox. It's from like yesterday, and I may have worked on it a little today. You can admit that you're depressed without that sounding particularly unreasonable or outlandish. You can admit that sometimes you feel hopeless, unnoticed by rats, chimps, elders, peers, and kids. And the sunshine just taunts you through your grimy film. So you licked it clean from your fingers. It tasted like summer fruit after the black bear's insides had finished with it. But in this season, you were glad to be quietly eating such a rankly fortified wild forest delicacy. You say, damn, what a year. Bumblebee making harmony with my heart charged with Saharan dust that blows the sun up into bomb licking horizon. And we need that other new blast to feed our essence, begging at the feet of peasants who hold trillions, chipping away at old lessons and still don't always get the point. All of the gold, all of the coins fed to, swallowed by the least domesticated lions and tigers. And to retrieve the currency, you must do so without any shed of blood, yours, theirs, or anyone's. Good luck, good luck. But still, even if such a thing is achieved, you are not deemed and considered to be the righteous magic holder of the secret key of life automatically. All of the trophies, all of the medallions, all of the pipe dreams come true, all angels and brownies that burn your heart wings into dust. Yet the shackles flinging and flaring about in circles against old stones of old folks gone won't shut up. And even after all that standing naked in the wind, you can admit that you're all love. The question is, whose other beatbox is open to your rhythm? Whose other beat is paying attention? I'll just do a little blues harp, if that's cool, and we'll go from there. Thanks. I think that's about all I got. This has been it's felt good. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Nice key change. Kevin, thank you.
Cool. Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Kevin. That was awesome, man. Yeah, I love that the breakbeat poem too, man. Or the beatbox.
Oh,
Yeah.
beatbox, thanks.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's cool shit. I'm very happy if my words can inspire other words of poetry, either directly or indirectly. So, thank you.
Oh, no doubt. It's all going around everywhere all day. All the words we use.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, it's all
Awesome.
out
Cool.
there, man. Just gotta reach out for it. But
Mhm.
hey, good to see you, man. Hope you can
Yeah.
make it next week. And yeah, thank you for
Yeah, I
stopping
plan
by,
on it.
man. Awesome, cool. Well, hey, take care of yourself, man.
Thank you. I'm gonna watch some more.
Sounds
Yeah,
good,
you
man.
too, man.
It's
Cheers,
fun.
man.
I enjoy this every Wednesday, man. It's good to still be able to get together somehow, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Shoot ya.
All right, take care, Kevin.
You're so busy.
All right, Kevin Evans there for you. Thanks for tuning in tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. My name's Caleb Bicert. It is a pleasure to be your host tonight and every Wednesday night here on the Love Stream. Anyway, we got some more performers coming at you next. We're going to Justin Blackburn next, and then we got Lee Stockdale. And then we got Savvy coming up after that. And then we got Emilio Maldonado flying in later on this evening. So y'all stay tuned. It's been a great night so far. I'm having fun. Hope y'all are too. Be sure and support Sovereign Kava. Sponsor this open mic. They are open for cashless to-go orders. Only masks are required. And they also do delivery through Kickback Asheville. So check out Sovereign Kava. Thanks for their support and your support. Keeping this open mic going for almost 10 years now. And we couldn't have done it without y'all. Also, I meant to mention this sooner, but many thanks to my brother Morgan Bicert for our technical director for the technical support tonight. Getting this live stream going. We're coming at you on the stream machine tonight. Yeah, it's good. It's working good. So far, so good. Anyway, and also tonight's theme music is by the Cavalactowns. Yes. And, check them out. They're on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. Cool. And I play drums in the band. So, free music for the show. Also cool. We got Justin Blackburn coming at you next. Let's see if we can get Justin on here. Amazing poet, stand-up comedian, and runs the Asheville Poetry Slam team, all that good stuff. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Justin Blackburn.
Hey,
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
going good. Sorry, I didn't get here last week.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. Glad it worked out this week.
Funny, kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
Gianna, my girlfriend's dad was in town, surprised people. So that was his last night in town, and we went out to dinner and stuff. And I ended up getting into a long argument with him because he's like this conservative dude.
Oh shit.
And at the end of the argument, the thing that he was scared of the most, because he was like, he thinks, I guess watching Fox News, the thing that he was afraid of the most when we really broke down to it was the fact that he's afraid that he's no longer allowed to say the F word or the R word to his friends in public. I mean, in his, without getting fired. And that's why he thinks the world's turning into China. So I just thought that was like an interesting, because it was like a long, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh man, that's.
And then when I finally broke it, I was like, "What are you actually afraid of?" And he had a couple, so he was he
opened up.
But I don't know. That's what that's why he thinks America's turning into China. I'm not a Fox News watcher, so I don't know if this is a narrative that a lot of conservative people share. I don't know. But he's afraid that Biden's going to get in office and it's going to become China. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing that wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's hard to even know what how do you come back in that argument? It's almost like a red herring anyway, you know.
Yeah, it was just like yeah. So it was an interesting, that's why I was like in there, you know, because I like to talk to them and see I like to understand people.
Well, in all seriousness, like, good on you for having these talks. You know, a lot of people sit at the dinner table and totally avoid any kind of like political or not even political, but just like, what are your beliefs in life kind of discussions, you know? And in my opinion, that's what we should all be talking about, and especially right now, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do appreciate him for, even though I disagree with him, I appreciate that he is a person that doesn't flip out on me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of conservatives that I've talked to, and this is just my experience, is they'll like just having a conversation with them makes them flip out.
Yeah, it turns to anger really quickly.
Yeah.
When it's just like, really, I just want to understand where you're. Yeah, I disagree.
Exactly. Like, I'm not coming at him
disagree. You know, let's hash this out, because.
Yeah, and
it's hard to fathom sometimes. Like,
totally, it's just very sad that their delusions are just incredibly sad and ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're being pushed by, I just guess, Fox News. I don't know, but
it's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he loves Fox. Like, he's always talking about Fox and stuff. So
propaganda works.
Yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting, weird thing that he thinks that the world will become, that the Democrats are going to get in there and it's going to become China. I don't.
Interesting
whatever.
Perspective.
Yeah, I guess that's the narrative that they push, which is weird. But yeah,
China. Do they have free healthcare in China? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No, I mean, it's fucked up. Yeah, but you know, yeah, let's I don't know. Let's work on our own country and have those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, totally.
For sure. And,
yeah. So hopefully maybe
stop.
Changed him a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, props to you, Justin. You got some poems tonight?
Yeah, I do. I was going to do a song that I wrote and then read some and then I'm making an album with this local guy named Patrick, who's incredible. Dude's a genius. Cool. And I wrote this song. I had a line that was in my head for a long time called "How Do You Make White People Care?" And the poem never would come out.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been listening to a lot of Dylan, especially early 60s Dylan.
Hell yeah.
And this song just came out. So I was going to sing it even though I don't play guitar. And then I was going to read some poems.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise. Jump up and down, shout for Justin Blackburn. Give it up.
Thank you. So this song is not finished. And I'll be singing it in kind of a different weird voice. So I'm not singing it. All these lines are completely genuine but I'm not a singer and I don't really know how to sing, but this is the kind of like voice that kind of came through me when I was like, had this line in my head. How do you make a white person care? Here we go. How do you make a white person care? Living in the suburbs, joyfully unaware of all the injustice, of all that's unfair. How do you make a white person care? How do you make a white person sees that the black man is beautiful as a shining sea, that God created him just like me. How do you make a white person see? How do you wake a white person up? Put something stronger than coffee in his cup that makes him confront where his thoughts come from. How do you wake a white person up? How do you make a white person feel when he spent his whole life drinking the pill that keeps him from emotion, keeps him from what is real? How do you make a white person feel? How do you make a white person hear the words I'm singing without putting him in fear that his white privilege is gonna disappear? How do you make a white person hear? That's my new song. I've been trying to record it. It's not finished, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do another poem that I'm gonna turn into a song. I've done this one before, and I'm gonna turn this into something, and then I'll do 2 maybe love poems. So hope everybody's doing amazing out there. This is called American Conditioning. American conditioning's gonna steal your soul. American conditioning's gonna steal your soul. Bread of lies and pizza rolls. American conditioning's gonna steal your soul. They'll love you if you play their game of their fear, game of their pain. I hope you are always questioning your American conditioning. Hey, come here. Let me wash your brain. Christmas, candy cane, cancer. We have the medicine, so we have the answers. Now give all your power away. Good luck on death. Have a nice day. The system is an organism born to make you insane. Take this pill. It'll kill the real part of you, the energetic heart of you that will bring healing, your dreams true. Hurry up and swallow. We don't want you feeling. Hurry up and follow. We can't have you kneeling. The foundation is caving. We need you behaving. Time to work hard, Jason, but you don't deserve payment because it's an honor to be disconnected from your desires and hate your life like your father. We must keep you angry and afraid. That's how you know you're American made. We groom you. Baby boom you, 4th of July parade. We need you lost. Or you're on that cross like our boss. You know the charade. We need you pissed off so you can't feel your soul or brainwashed in college under our control. Here's the good grade, Karen, for all your knowledge. 10 more years and you'll get acknowledged as a day shifter at the stockade. As a child, you were cherished. Now when you smile, you feel embarrassed. Look in the mirror, say hi to your parents. They got you, Jason. They locked you down, Karen, you dumb motherfuckers. Grown-up children, dull hearts, dreamless, swollen, stuck secrets, addicted to stress, attached to the drama, every day reliving your trauma like you don't have a choice, afraid of your own voice. They made you believe you were living it right, huh, Ben? You think you're one of the businessmen. Tell your wife, good night, Lynn. It's going to be a long, short life that never ends. Godspeed, my friends. The only way out is within, you fucking idiots. They fooled you, Lynn. They broke you, Benjamin. They'll give you everything if you play the game of their lives, game of dying in their name. I hope your soul is listening to your American conditioning. All right, that was that one. I wrote this book called Love Poems That Manifested My Soulmate. I don't have a copy right around me now to show you, but I do have a copy of this book that I wrote called The Bisexual Christian Suburban Selling Enlightening Bipolar Blues. Actually, I do. So I have this book called The Love Poems That Manifested My Soulmate, and I was going to read a couple of those and call it an awesome night. Hope everybody's doing amazing. Which ones feel really good? Okay. This is called "It's Hard Not to Fall in Love with You." I wrote this like a long ass time ago. A lot of these poems were written a long time ago. Here it goes. It's hard not to fall in love with you, with the stars giggling, with the autumn wind whispering my undying loneliness. Harder when you call just to ask how I am. When you dance to Beyonce in my car. Your beauty, I lack. Your love, I ask. Do I even exist? It's impossible not to fall in love with you now that we've kissed. I'm gonna do two more short ones here. This is called "The Air She Breathes." I wrote this about my ex girlfriend a while ago when she was moving to Costa Rica. I ended up joining her there, which I didn't know I was going to, but she was visiting there. And I wrote there, this is called "The Air She Breathes." I breathe her air and nothing else. I am a caterpillar in her butterfly garden. I am a hallucinogenic mushroom in her endless field. I am the dominant love in her subconscious. I breathe her air, holding hands in sand, my life loyal to the here and the right now, only to be somewhere else so soon as she is leaving to bloom across that ocean. Still, my devotion is to the air she breathes. No matter how far she sets herself free, I am forever blessed to breathe her air and her air only. Her air, where our hearts remember us as one, speaking each other's love language without saying a word. A bird flies through her air. My love, I am grateful to breathe in. The deep longing that will come running through my earthly state, your presence devours. I'll seek shade under the stars, breathing you in those lonely hours to come, like the solace I find under your shape, until we reemerge, breathing in the same state. This is what it means to close my eyes to others. Breathe. I'm gonna do one more. This is called "Two Terrified Adult Kids." I wrote this about another ex-girlfriend, and it's about not knowing what the fuck's going on in the world, but like being in love, but being afraid of the adult world. I guess there was this. I mean, I was adult. It kind of took me a long time to kind of grow up. I guess I think I was like 26, 25 when I wrote this. 27, 26, 25. All right, here we go. Two terrified adult kids. We are two terrified adult kids, holding on to each other for dear life, naked, underneath warm covers of everyday uncertainty. Snow falls outside as questions climb the spiral staircase of our insides. Are we good enough? Does love exist? Is this it? What if it ends? Who are we? Why can't we just let this moment be beautiful? The fire of our love within warms us. The rent due tomorrow warns us, yet still we must search for who we are. As time runs away inside the hearts of these two terrified adult kids, holding each other tight with minds as wide as the differences they can make upon the world, if love can remember everything fear forgets. Their love. All right, that was from Love Poems That Manifested My Soulmate. It's a book about how I wrote love poems to manifest my soulmate. And if you want it, send me a message. Not have a beautiful night and everything's good.
All right, Justin Blackburn. Thank you very much, Justin. Yes, y'all check out Justin's website and buy the book. And he's got some other books on there for sale too. But thanks for coming tonight, Justin.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, man. You too. Take care.
I'll move on to the Facebook group.
Oh, yeah. Please do. And come back next week if you can.
Oh, I'll be there.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks again for joining us tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville Quarantine Love Stream, brought to you by Sovereign Kava. We're coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. My name is Caleb Beiser. It is a pleasure to be your host here each and every Wednesday night. Y'all stick around because we got some more awesome performers coming at you tonight. Up next, we have Lee Stockdale in the house. Always good to see Lee. And then we have Savvy. After that, Savvy's coming through. And then we got Steve Smith in the house tonight, I believe. And then Emilio Maldonado will be coming through later tonight too. I think there may be a space or two left if anyone wants to get on. Just holler on the in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook, and that's where you can find the sign-up sheet we posted the week of. It's a Monday night. The sheet goes up, and you can sign up anytime until Wednesday evening. And we have a featured poet every week. Our featured performer. Tonight we had Laura Hope-Gill in the house with us, and next week we've got Akua Adisa joining us. She's a fabulous poet also, so y'all should tune in for that next week at 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time here in the States. All right, cool. Coming up next tonight, we got Lee Stockdale. He's an awesome poet, performer, harmonica player, author, really cool guy. So let's see if we can get Lee on here. Y'all go ahead and give it up. Make a whole bunch of noise for Lee. Yeah. Hey, Lee.
Hey, Caleb.
Hey, good to see ya.
How you doing,
Hey.
man?
I'm all
It's a
right,
cool
hanging in
thing.
there, man. How are you
Cool
doing?
thing you got going on. I like this streaming thing. I've never done one of these, so this is my first time.
Well, I hadn't done it either till I had to figure it out, So it's a new thing, but it's turning out to be a cool way to keep in touch and still
Cool
be able to hear
thing.
each other's poetry even when we're quarantined. So
So I got 3 poems tonight, if that's okay.
absolutely, I'm gonna go ahead and
All
turn
right.
it over to you, and we can hear the
Crazy. All
poems.
right. Sure. Great. All right.
All right, cheers.
This is called Angels. Angels in Colorado. In the middle of nowhere, I've got to pee. Mark stops the car. We haven't seen a soul for hundreds of miles. No one goes out in a blizzard. Mark avails himself of the opportunity. I go to the front, Mark to the rear. No trees, oceans of snow. The sky fills with angels, a mosaic umbrella, a seamless dome of dozens, not hundreds. I say this to give you an idea of their size. Large angels, I'd say, strangely impassive. Back in the car, I'm silent, stunned. I have to assume Mark saw them too. And equally moved, we say nothing at all. He's too freaked to drive and gives me the wheel. I edge through mountains, the roads an unfolding whiteout guess. I'm only sure of the whipping wind. And now I'm going to find another poem if I can. Let's see. I'm going to do criminal justice because I think we need criminal justice. So let's see if I can find criminal justice. And it's called Criminal Justice. Lawyers strip money from clients in vestibules. The assistant DA wheels in a steamer trunk filled with tire irons, wigs, running shoes, footprints. Jurors drink coffee, practice guilty, not guilty. The bailiff tunes his walkie-talkie to sports talk radio. The court reporter raises his hands in the air, poised to smash down on his tiny machine. Witnesses disremember, blank their minds. Parole violetees rounded up overnight, shoehorn into the timeout box. Separate clouds of last night's breath sail above packed pews. Baby mamas and girlfriends, backs against walls, wave to catch their man's attention. Hear ye, the judge leaps over the bar, with inmates and everyone following. They flee the courthouse, run down Main Street, dash up side streets. They all disappear. And this last is called Psychic Reading. The psychic man welcomes me with a big hug. Do I know him? In this C- motel off I-26 before he walks me through celestial cathedral doors 8 miles high, introduces me to space aliens, monks, and cardinals, all of whom, he says, I apparently know. They're smiling, he says, and bowing to me. My initiation, $50 worth. He says to envision my transcendental shoes, silver, pointed, curled up in front. I'm disappointed they're not more serious looking. He presents me with a pewter-colored staff to point at people for love. Can't hurt. The man guides me down a cave-like hall, lit by torches along the walls, into the cell for Akashic records, but the words on my page are too dense to make out. The tape recorder clicks off. I open my eyes to cigarette burns in the carpet of this no-smoking room. I take out a check. He's apologetic, accepts only cash. He's been tricked by cons. Here, I say, point my staff, turn this blank check into cash. No, I get cash from the ATM. The counter clerk smiles. I must be psychic. I see the floodlight on her 2 children playing outside her small rental in Fletcher Township. The clerk's younger sister sits on the front steps, cigarette in one hand, cell phone in the other. Both her children have golden wings. End of poetry reading from me. Thank you. I hope you got some criminal justice.
All right. Lee,
Thank you,
you.
Caleb. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming by. Thank you for those awesome poems, and I hope you can make it back again soon.
I will soon. See you. Bye.
Awesome. Take care. All right. That was Lee Stockdale, y'all. Good to see Lee. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Virtual quarantine love stream coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. And we're doing it, we're making this work. We're adapting. Man, it's been great tonight. It's really great to hear from everyone. We got some other friends coming up next. I'm excited to hear from, and I'm gonna see if we can get them in next. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Let's see here. Okay. I think, Savvy, I don't have Savvy quite, set up here yet. So, I think we can go to, Steve Smith in that case. And then after that, we got Savvy, and Emilio, coming through tonight at you. And, there might be a space left if anyone else wants to grab it. We're still going strong here. But let's go ahead and see if we can get Steve Smith on here. It's great to see Steve. He's an amazing singer-songwriter, great musician. and y'all check him out. Make a whole bunch of noise for Steve Smith. Give it up.
Hey, how's it going? Good evening.
Hey,
Caleb, it's so good to see you.
good.
So good to see
Hey,
you.
it's so good to see you. It's been, yeah, totally. It's been a minute.
Life has
It's
changed.
been a minute. Indeed. Look, this is what we're doing now. We're like talking through a screen.
I got you playing through my speakers, and
Yeah.
I got you on the wall of sound over there.
Oh,
And
fantastic,
I'll tell you what,
man.
it's pretty rad. I've been listening to the poets,
I
just
love
chilling.
it. Feels good over here.
Yeah, man. Thanks,
Man.
thanks for having me, bro.
Dude, thanks for tuning in and thanks for sharing tonight. It's good to see you. Steve's been a long time performer at the open mic here in Asheville. He was at a lot of those first ones we did in that little back room on Lexington like 10 years ago. So
Those were some fond memories. I'll tell you what. We had a good
man.
good thing started and a good thing still rolling, man. I'll tell you what.
Totally. Well, thanks for coming back and doing it tonight.
Yeah, I feel good to be here, man. I'm really thankful.
Totally. Me too, man. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, and let's hear the good music.
All right, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to share some songs with y'all. Thanks for having a moment here with me.
All right, sounds good. Make some noise for Steve. Give it up.
All right, y'all. This one is Poetry in Motion. I got tired of getting over you, and I got tired of being dumb. So I took a train down to Mexico, had a bottle of mezcal and a quart of rum. And I don't know what I'm thinking, you don't come around here anymore. So I took a train to California, and I can hear the oceans pounding roll. And I know what you're thinking, I know where you're coming from, and I know your heart is singing, my heart's sinking with the setting sun. My heart's sinking with the setting sun. I got tired of getting older too, and I can feel it in my bones. So I took a train out to find the truth, and all I found was rolling with the stones. And I don't know what I'm gonna do, 'cause you will move and leave it all behind. So I took a train to California, I will always have you on my mind. I know what you're thinking, I know where you're coming from. I know your heart is singing, my heart's sinking with the setting sun. My heart's sinking with the setting sun. And I don't know what I'm gonna do, 'cause you were all I ever knew of home. So I I took a train down to Calico. All I found was empty streets to roam. And I don't know what I'm thinking, 'cause you'll move on and leave the past behind. So I took a train to California. I will always have you on my mind. And I know what you're thinking, and I know where you're coming from. And I know your heart is singing. My heart's sinking with the setting sun. My heart's sinking with the setting sun. All right, that one's Poetry in Motion. And thank you so much for letting me be part of the evening here tonight. Thank you, Caleb, again. I'm Steve Smith. Friends call me Salt. It's nice to meet you, and thank you for listening. This next tune is a song that I'd like to sing for y'all. That first one is an original tune, and this tune is originally written by Mason Jennings. So make yourselves at home, 'cause I'm going out across the street to get us some water, 'cause this water's brown. I'm so embarrassed to have you here, but I want you around. Usually I sing, play you my guitar, but I know that don't get very far with you. But you like music, it makes you move. Mine is a groove and nothing I can prove, so please know what I mean. I'll say nothing. I say nothing. I say nothing. I say these things that I buy, things that I think haven't made this a better place to be. Drugs that I've tried, drinks that I drink, haven't made this a better place to be. It's still just a room with the drums in the middle, couch on the wall, it works as my bed. Still I have a phone, it rings all day. Still I have things I wish I would have said, so please know what I mean. I say nothing. I say nothing. I say nothing. I say, this whole thing's been hard on me, breaks my heart. Do you know what that means? My new place seems strange to me. It breaks my heart to know what that means. It means nothing. All right, that one's a little short one. And then I'm going to finish with my last poem / song for the night, if I have time. Caleb, do I have time for another short one, or are we done? I'm not sure.
You're good. Do one more.
On a short one? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do a little short one for y'all. Finish up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys giving me a chance to be part of your night. And this is a new song I'm working on. This one's called I Believe in You. Well, you can do anything you want to do. I believe in you. You're gonna push on through. Keep your head up, keep it going when the going gets tough. I know you've had enough, but you've gotta believe and never give it up. 'Cause you can be an open book, drop the line and bait the hook. I'll be the one who took the joy from your heart when you couldn't be late. I still believe in you. Your heart is black and blue. You said our dreams come true. You said life wasn't through. But satellite is burning, the moon it's sad and yearning. Saturn is returning. You're learning the ways of how to live this life. 'Cause you can be free again, free of all the chains and then find the words and write the pen. You're living the life that you never lived. You can be an open book, to drop the line or bait the hook. I'll be the one who took the love from your heart 'cause you couldn't be late. I still believe in you. Your heart is black and blue. You said our dreams come true. You said our life was through. So you can do anything you want to do. I believe in you and you're gonna push on through. So keep your head up. I love y'all. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much, Killed. It's a lot of fun being here.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming by. And thank you for the good music. That was beautiful. And hope you can make it back again soon, man.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to hearing the rest of the show tonight. I got another half hour to hang out, so I'm going to kick it and listen to the poets and relax.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we got some more coming at you. Awesome. Y'all stick around. And thanks again, Steve. Cheers, y'all. Give it up one more time for Salt Smith.
All right. Peace and love. Peace and love.
All right. And thank you for tuning in tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Asheville's longest running and best open mic, brought to you by Sovereign Kava. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all the comments, likes, and shares tonight. You can catch us here each and every Wednesday night for more open mic fun. We got some more awesome performers coming at you next, so stick around, y'all. Up next on the mic tonight, I think we got Savvy in the house. Savvy. Let's see, and HCG, hell yeah, let's see if we can bring them on. Y'all make some noise, give it up. All right, what's up, y'all?
What's good?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, good to see you.
What's good, homie?
Chilling, man. It's good to see you. I miss you, man.
I miss
y'all
you
doing
too,
all right?
They're making moves over here.
Yeah, we've been working on. Oh my God, dude, it's been really crazy. I've got my mixtape like completed almost.
That's what's up. I can't wait to hear the new music.
Yo, dog, it's crazy. It's really, really weird, and it's like definitely different than most shit. So it's cool.
Hell yeah. Well, it's just different times. So
yeah, bro,
it calls for
right.
different
It's
music.
Sweet, though. It's sweet though. Like it's been moving. Gang Beef has been doing really well.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. And everyone should check out Gang Beef Entertainment and check out the good music they're putting out for sure. Right here in Asheville. Cool. Well, y'all gonna do some music for us tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna do our classic little jam. There's some more stuff in the works, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite yet. Not quite yet. So, but we do definitely want to do that. So and we're having a meeting anyways tonight. So it works out well.
A business meeting.
So we gotta do that shit.
Oh, I know.
So, anyways, but yeah, whenever you want, you want to go.
All right. All right, I'm gonna hand it over to y'all. And y'all
Got
make some noise for Savvy and ACG. Give it up.
First you say you don't.
First you say you don't.
Then you say you do.
Then you say you do.
Seems like you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Who you're talking to.
Who you talking to?
I want you to know.
Want you to know.
Who you're talking to.
Who you talking to?
I want you to know. Yeah.
I'm spinning all these verses and all of these curses. I guess I'm laying all these niggas down in these hearses. I mean, leaving them all lyrically dead. They coming for my head. Make them all see blood red. Try to keep me on my meds. Keep telling me that I'm crazy. Within a mile, they can smell what a nigga blazing. Whatever body said, better know that I'm raising. Like homie with nails in his head. Tell that I'm raising. Put the dough in the oven, I guess I'm raising bread. Quick to strike like a snake, on me do not tread. Like the lone as a judge, I'm the one they dread. Don't make me pull up and roll up in homesteads. Put the bed, lay to rest, I confess I'm the best. Put the work in to get it like it's a raid chest. All the critics rave, yes, you bargain ass rappers like you came from fucking Payless. Kill it, say less. First you say you don't. Then you say you do.
Like you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Who you talking to?
I want you to know.
Yeah, you to know.
Who
you talking to?
I want you to know. Yeah. No, yeah. No, now you run around.
Now you run around.
Can you run your mouth?
Can you run your mouth?
You got a clue what you're talking about, and I want you to know.
Want you to know.
Who you talking to?
Who you talking to?
I want you to know, yeah. No, yeah. No, first you say you don't.
First you say you don't.
Then you say you do.
Then you say you do.
Seems like you don't know.
Seems like you don't know.
Who you talking to?
Who you talking
I
to?
want you to know.
Want you to know.
Talking to.
Who you talking to?
I want you to know, yeah.
Hey.
I think that's all we got this go round.
I promise we'll show some new stuff coming up soon.
Awesome.
Yay, thank you.
Hey, thanks, y'all. Y'all sound great
yeah.
together. Y'all know I love that jam.
Yeah, we
It's
will
the classic.
absolutely have a new one and everything coming up here soon. And like we'll have people actually doing it. And like I said, everything's a lot more put together. We have the producers leaving anyways the house right now. But yeah, it'd be like I said, it'd be really fun to sit there. We'll have some new shit for you guys coming up soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll come back and share and let us know when you got the new stuff out. And thank you so much for dropping by tonight. It's really good to
Caleb,
see y'all. I
thank
miss
you.
y'all. I love y'all.
I miss you
We
so
love
much.
y'all. All right.
Awesome. All right,
Nice.
later, y'all. Y'all give
See
it up
ya.
one more time for ACG and Savvy. Yeah. Oh, I liked it. Cool. Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight, y'all. We're live from Asheville, North Carolina. Broadcasting all over the world tonight. We do this each and every Wednesday night. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Asheville's longest running open mic where we welcome all people, all forms of artistic self-expression from wherever you are now. I'm joining you tonight from my living room. Yes, it's good. It's good to be here after many years. I finally have a decent place here in Asheville. So, anyway, cool. Definitely thinking about everyone out there and everybody going through stuff right now. And just know we're thinking about you. We're with you. And this is we're just trying to put a little love and light out there each and every week with this open mic here. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for making it special, y'all. And keep tuning in here each and every week. And thanks for support from Sovereign Kava. They are open for Kava right now and other stuff. Just go by there. It's mask required, social distancing required, cards only, to go only. And they do delivery through Kickback Asheville, so check that out. Appreciate it. Cool. We got some more performers coming at you next. I think we got George Trouble hanging out here. Trouble's in the house. Let's get George on here and get him in the mix. Y'all go ahead and make a whole bunch of noise for the one and only George Trouble. Give it up. All right. Hey. Woo.
Oh, folks.
Get a little feedback there, George. Hold on.
I'm going to back up so you can see my paintings. Last time I did open mic, I screwed this song up. I'm going to fix it now.
Hey,
Am I doing that?
Yeah, you gotta use headphones.
I gotta turn the sound down.
Or turn the sound down, yeah.
Oh yeah, Morgan told me that, sorry. Okay.
I
thought that was, you were doing that.
No. All right, I'm
Here
gonna
we go,
turn
guys.
it over to you.
Song called
play some
Deeper Than
music.
That. Nice to see everybody. Well, the two people I saw already. Kayla, the beer's looking great, man.
Thanks.
Can you hear it? I'll back up. All right, here we go. Feeling stuck when we first met. Could it ever get deeper than that? Leave a voicemail for the cat. You always forget the hat. Mighty Mountain Master Band. We knew the results beforehand. Who could afford Promised Land? We burned it all up in span. Maybe a blessing in disguise that it never gets deeper than that. Not much of a rabbit hat. Could it ever get deeper than that? gathers the coil of its own. Fortunes for portions unsold, and dead ends for both heroes. Somebody falls a little hole where we all could not get in, and study for final exam. We'd rather be on the land. Maybe a blessing in disguise that it never gets deeper than that. Drinkers of dreams so exact, and lovers with names like Splat. The hotel pool was phthalo blue, years of salt spray and oil and chlorine. Some might say calcified dream. Why could we not come clean? Have no fear, all ghosts are here. Could it ever get deeper than that? Begging to forget the past and fighting for love everlasting. Maybe a blessing in disguise that it never gets deeper than that. Dying so young is a fact. See what the angels began. All right, I'm gonna back it off. That's that one. That's that song. Is it okay now? I guess it's okay.
Yeah. I can hear you fine as long as.
Uh-oh, it says my power
keep your
connector's not
speaker
plugged in
turned
properly.
down.
It was some kind of weird warning I got. Oh, it just, the plug wasn't in. Okay. All right. We okay?
Great.
Nice haircut, Caleb. I like it with your hair pulled back like that.
Oh, thanks. I didn't cut it. It's just pulled back. It's
You
super long.
know,
But thank you.
Jeff, what's his name, the actor? Jeff Bridges kind of style.
The dude.
Kirk Douglas. All right, here's a fairly new song. I wrote it the week the pandemic started. Can you hear the guitar?
Yep, I can hear
All right,
fine. Keep going.
What's eating you? Written all over your face. So many people crowded in a very small place. I'm here for you. Come whenever you come. But sometimes you will shout it when I'm nowhere at all. In a perfect world, we wouldn't be so fragile. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need so much to agile. But the danger abounds is hiding wherever you've been. It can take a lifetime to know the enemy within. So we're slow and stealth thinking dreams. Our thinking dreams never come true. Always too dismayed to know there will never be another like you. In a perfect world, we'd not be bound by trauma. In a perfect world, there'd be no need for all this drama. But the powers that won't let us be our recognized calamity. Oh, their fortunes turn on this body they call heavenly, where the greed always beats on speed, and it goes on wild energy. There's no earthly idea why it wobbles so blunderingly. In a perfect world, there'll be no need for cleansing. In a perfect world, there'll be no fences needing mending. Lost the ideal fantasy behind the neat technique. Found a real romance that can't be terminally unique. So together we plow through the field. We always get lost in the weeds. Even on this trail of tears, we so ancient heirloom seed. And we sprawl on the walls of this cave. All souls might fly like the birds. Is it vainly mortal to try and find those uplifting words? In a perfect world, there will be no pretending. In a perfect world, it all begins with happy ending. Poetry Open Mic Asheville.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caleb.
Hey, thanks a lot, George. Appreciate you dropping by. I also wanted to mention those are George's paintings in the background. There.
Oh, yeah.
George is also an amazing painter.
Here you go, guys. We're going on a little tour. Quick tour. I'll unplug it. How about a quick tour, Caleb?
Right. Sure, yeah.
Here's one. These are two. It's hard to see. Get me out of the way. Here we go. Okay. There's one. Now you can see a bunch of them. Ah, nice. Here's one. You might like this one. Snake handlers. Some snake handlers. I'll be still. Snake handlers. Little child handlers. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. There's some more snake handlers down here. Right there. And then over here, I'll turn the lights up. We have LA story. That's the LA riots. We have Manila prison, Manila jail. And then here's one with Andy Griffith. It's called The Legend of Tom Dooley, with Dizzy Gillespie in the background, and a horse raising hell, and a cardinal. And here's our friend John F. Kennedy, the Kennedy Pietà. Yeah, yeah. And our other friend, Mr. Donald J. Trump, in various scenarios. Some of you guys have seen these paintings because they hung at the Cava Bar. We're done with his ass, though, aren't we? Can I hear if they're done with his ass? Yeah, done with his ass.
Woo! Done with his ass.
Thanks, Caleb.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I remember that show. Yeah, thanks for sharing the paintings too.
I can't hear you. I'm gonna turn you back up. I gotta get headphones, don't I? Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go again.
Anyway, yeah, thanks.
So you gotta have headphones.
Yeah, for this back and forth thing. Yeah, for sure.
Are we done, or do you want one more?
I think we're gonna. Let me see if we have Emilio. Well, we might have time for one more, actually. We're waiting on one more performer. I'll give him one more song, and then I'm gonna close it out with some poems. But yeah, thanks for sharing the paintings. It's interesting looking back on the LA riots painting. You know, you might need a Minneapolis painting now. But and then Kennedy too. Also, we had Lee Stockdale on here who grew up around John F. Kennedy. His father was an ambassador, I think, in the
cool, man.
Kennedy administration.
Did you say you did want me to do one more or not?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, guys, I'm doing these so Caleb can learn them,
down.
right? So we can play them together.
Awesome. I'll listen closely.
I'll get headphones next week and a haircut. So
I need one of those too.
No beauty could be quite as rich as a perfectly fitting hitch with a full soul massage of an itch you could never describe. Each moment we choose between which the endurance or the fast twitch about wire on that old bait and switch on every good catch. Oh, once in a while it seems we could be sharing those dreams of how and now's joyous possibility to build up a new head of steam, how to release or redeem, 'cause everybody is crazy but me. Whenever I try to predict the outcome of ideal conflict, inevitably it constricts love's capacity. So I am trained to not think too much, get lost inside a fair touch, and that seems to work for me momentarily. Oh, now and again it seems we could be sharing those dreams of recurring, reassuring love and ecstasy. Build up a new head of steam, polish the tarnished gleam of everybody that's crazy but me. Anyone here relate to acts of God or the state when the simple loss of power truly frustrates? You'll never know when you'll collapse and get lost down between the synapses. I'll run those old baiting traps on every good crack. Oh, life could be a dream, a float down a lazy stream that flows into the lake of love's extreme. That seems like the place to be. I only know what I see, and everybody is crazy but me. It seems like the place to be. I only know what I see, and everybody is crazy. Everybody is crazy. Yes, everybody is crazy but me. Definitely got to get headphones. Thanks, Caleb.
Hey, thanks a lot, George. Appreciate you dropping by. Hope to see you again next time. And yeah, much love, man. Take care out there. Thanks for sharing.
We'll see you next
George.
week.
All right. Cool. That was George Trouble. Check out the Zealots on Spotify and YouTube and all that good stuff. They got some music up there. And thank you all for tuning in tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Asheville's best and longest running open mic. Thanks to your support, we are coming at you live tonight from my living room all over the world. We encourage you to tune in from wherever you are. Open Mic Freaks Unite. And indeed, it's been a fine night. And thanks again to our feature poet this week, Laura Hope-Gill. And check out Laura Hope-Gill's new video on Vimeo. It's a particularly relevant poem dealing with the pandemic, the lockdown, beauty, tragedy, all sorts of things. Thank you so much, Laura. And yes, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's performed tonight. And if you didn't get to perform tonight, please tune in again next week. We post the sign-up sheet in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. And you sign up there, reserve a spot, then we post the link on Wednesday evening. And it's really easy. You can join in from wherever you are. Just make sure you have some headphones and a stable internet connection, all that good stuff. Man, it's been a fun night. So good to see so many people, and I hope more people will continue to join in and do this love string thing and share our art. I also wanted to say we are live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And those videos save, and via YouTube, you can share your video with a timestamp, so you can share just your performance on the open mic here if you care to. We appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares, and appreciate you supporting this open mic and supporting Sovereign Kava that's been our home for so many years now. Thanks to them, and thanks to our amazing performers. I'm going to close it out with a few poems. I think we missed... I'm not sure. I hope Amelia is all right. But, hey, if you're out there, jump in here in the next few minutes and read us some poems. I'm just going to start in with some poems to close the night out. Let me see what I got here. Thanks for joining us here. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. This one's called Invisible World. I wring out laundry in the rank world. Black birds fly in and out of an open window. For centuries, distress was my dwelling place. I look skyward and dream, head resting in an open window. Tall buildings and street poles block my view, so I throw all my possessions out of an open window. Kings and their lobbyists lie down in palace corridors. A falcon with a note appears at the open window. Rulers cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed. A bandit steals my soul and makes through an open window. Beside the oak bookshelf, there's a wine bottle filled with peacock feathers. The invisible world lies just beyond the open window. The work. Great horned owls inhabit perches high in the last Carolina hemlocks on a cool mountainside where laurel thickets and sneaking ferns curtain the rivers as they gently process. To silver beaches, their waves enunciating, to the skinny pine forest, to the rusted clay of the Catawba Piedmont, where once wild horses and bison pastured. The oaks, the last standing witnesses, rustle in a south wind. The old mill on the Uwharrie River turns in a lullaby tone, like the silence of ants that never stop working, carrying 10 times their own weight. This is called Camera Angle. As the band played, a frog came in from the rain outside through the open door to solo with the saxophone, trading odd time. The frog jumps all around. 2 girls help it escape the bar full of feet. The frog sits in right on time for its cameo. The summer rain brings all kinds of things. I once watched a box spring mattress float down the French Broad River in a muggy July mist. Frogs are just one part of the dream. The other is the crying people with masks, but nobody hears them. Aftermath of the workday. Woo! I remember that. I've dog chased the years, cafe life large and small. Dreams set aside for industry weekend. Still keys, blank pages. Slice of a void to fill. Still leaves in fall. The demands of the day done. No time left to find metaphors in the unmoving trees. The sound of cars on the highway used. All the withered plants used. Not a single species of bird left to call into this used poem. This is a new poem about my gardening. This is called To Water. I water the garden with an old tin watering can. When the can is empty, I stand still and listen to the earth drink in the water. The fragrance of good dirt lifts to the air, as in gratitude. Little wilted greens already become full again, to stand tall, to reach for afternoon sun, as if hoping for such a simple answer. I straighten my spine and reach into unknown air. Nothing geese. The clock says it's 3:75 a.m. I've been sprayed with chemicals. They make my chest burn, and my sweat stings for days. I want to do this old poem by a friend of the open mic, Mike Cook, who's a big reason that I continue to keep this open mic going every week. Maybe the reason, but definitely for people like him who need a place to share their words. And may he rest in peace and power. Mike took his own life in 2013, I think. But yeah, this one goes out to him. This is one of his poems. And as is the case with a lot of his poems, this one's called Hero of the Suburbs. Plunger, 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 palm tree, plunger, plunger, my sweet, sweet plunger, my plunger, my faithful plunger, sweat for me. I look for you in the corner of every bathroom to whisper your name at the urinal. You make me want to plunge. I urge to plunge, to stick it in the drain and plunge away. You take my pain away for a moment of suction, plunging. I am a plunger, a plunger, a plunger, a palm tree in a vacuum-sealed lounge of water, in your rubbery cement-pink embrace, drowning in the violent plunge, lunging forward and sucking the other world through a porcelain pipeline, birthing the plunge. The warp. A harp is strummed as I plunge deeper, looking to pick a plum for the very first time in that lost swamp of memories. And step by step I plunge through the mud in search of a plum tree. Plunging for a plum. Leaping out with leeches, these blood-sucking, morbid black slits, plunging for my positive, loyal plunger. Stand guard by your porcelain maiden. The plum is an elusive fruit, and I fucking hate plums. Pongo! Alright, I'm going to close it out with a few more cover poems. Thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thanks to everyone who performed. Thanks to everyone who supports this open mic each and every week. It means a lot. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. All our performers. This next one I'm going to do is one I'm going to do two I translated from the Spanish of Federico Garcia Lorca. This is Hustle of the Memory of Love. Don't take your memory with you. Leave it all alone in my chest. Trembling of white cherry in the martyrdom of January. I am separated from the dead by a wall of bad dreams. I give sorrow a fresh iris for a heart of gypsum. All night in the orchard, my eyes like two dogs. All night covering the poison quinces. Sometimes the wind is a tulip of fear. Is a sick tulip, the dawn of winter. A wall of bad dreams separates me from the dead. The fog covers in silence the gray valley of your body. By the meeting arch, the hemlock is growing. But leave your memory. Leave it only in my chest. Song of the Withered Orange Tree. Canción de la Naranja Seca. Woodcutter, cut down my shadow. Save me from the torment of seeing myself fruitless. Why was I born among shadows? Why was I born among mirrors? The day turns over me, and night copies me fully in all its stars. I want to live without seeing myself, and ants and thistledown. I will dream that you are my leaves and my birds. Woodcutter, cut down my shadow. Save me from the torment of seeing myself fruitless. Thanks a lot, y'all. We'll just do a few more here. This next one is, this is by the great beat poet Bob Kaufman. This one's called Believe, Believe. Believe in this, young apple seeds, in blue skies, radiating young breast, not in blue-suited insects infesting society's garments. Believe in the swinging sounds of jazz, tearing the night into intricate shreds, putting it back together again in cool, logical patterns. Not in the sick controllers who created only the bomb. Let the voices of dead poets ring louder in your ears than the screechings mouthed in mildewed editorials. Listen to the music of the centuries rising above the mushroom time. Well, Bob Kaufman, very good. Much love to everyone out there on the love stream. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. My name's Caleb Beisert. It's a pleasure to be your host. I got two more for you. One of them is by W.S. Merwin. It's called By Dark. And one of them is by the ancient Sufi mystic Jalaluddin Rumi of the Coleman Barks translation. It's called Enough Words. By the way, thanks again to our featured poet Laura Hope-Gill last night, who through WordFest made it possible for me to meet Coleman Barks and to hear him read these words of Rumi that he's brought to life for us in the English language. And I've seen him since then. Every time I've seen Coleman Barks has been an really magical experience, to say the least. The time I saw him at WordFest, actually he was at WordFest twice. I think I saw him at WordFest twice, or at least in Asheville twice. Once was at the Fine Arts Theater, and the other time was at the old Bobo Gallery. And he was performing with Thomas Rain Crow, and they were going back and forth. Crow was doing Hafez poems, and Barks was doing the Rumi poems, and they had this great band playing with them, the Boat Rockers, and they were going back and forth. The whole audience was entranced. I look around, everyone had their eyes closed and were totally entranced. And then there were blue lights suddenly, and cops were storming into the venue and saying it was interrupted this beautiful poetry reading and said it was over capacity and people had to leave. And they kicked a bunch of people out, and they started performing again, and people were pressed against the windows looking in from the streets. I went outside, and the cops were still harassing us out there, but eventually they got another call and went to, do something else. But always remember that one. I saw him in Seattle too at AWP, and the people wouldn't let him get off stage. At the end of his reading, people were weeping and standing up in the audience and begging and demanding that he read more Rumi poems. Anyway, good times. I hope to make more good times with y'all out there as we're working on. Thanks again to all our performers tonight. Thanks again to our featured poet, Laura Hope-Gill. She's got a video right there y'all should check out. And check us out next week. We've got Akua Adisa in the house as our featured poet. And then the week after that, we have Aaron Fornoff joining us as our featured poet. So y'all keep joining in. Appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. And appreciate everyone's help tonight, especially Morgan Beiser, our technical director. Much love, everyone. By Dark. WS Merwin. When it is time, I follow the black dog into the darkness that is the mind of day. I can see nothing but the black dog, the dog I know, going ahead of me. Not looking back. Oh, it is the black dog I trust now in my turn after the years when I had all the trust of the black dog through an age of brightness and through shadow. On into the blindness of the black dog, where the rooms of the dark were already known and had no fear in them. For the black dog leading me carefully up the blind stairs. How does a part of the world leave the world? How can wetness leave water? Don't try to put out a fire by throwing on more fire. Don't wash a wound with blood. No matter how fast you run, your shadow more than keeps up. Sometimes it's in front. Only full overhead sun diminishes your shadow. But that shadow has been serving you. What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Your boundaries are your guest, your quest. I can explain this, but it would break the glass cover on your heart, and there's no fixing that. You must have shadow and light source both. Listen and lay your head under the tree of all. When from that tree feathers and wings sprout on you, be quieter than a dove. Don't open your mouth even for a coo. When a frog slips into the water, the snake cannot get it. Then the frog climbs back out and croaks, and the snake moves toward him again. Even if the snake learned to hiss, still, even if the frog learned to hiss, still the snake would hear through the hiss the information he needed. The frog voice underneath. But if the frog could be completely silent, then the snake would go back to sleeping, and the frog could reach the barley. The soul lives there in that silent breath. And that grain of barley is such that when you put it in the ground, it grows. Are these enough words? Or shall I squeeze more juice from this? Who am I, my friend? Who am I? Thanks for tuning in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville tonight. Coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. We hope you can make it next week when our guest will be Akua Disa. Thanks again to our featured poet tonight, Laura Hope-Gill. Check out the video. Appreciate all the likes and comments here. And yeah, y'all keep checking us out. We really appreciate everything. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Much love. Y'all take care out there. Be good to yourselves and one another. And yeah, peace. Oh, thank you. All right.